So I'm about to embark on the 100 painting challenge, which is 33 on the first day, 34 on the second, 33 on the third day. I'm working on a big table and I put a good sheet of paper underneath, just thinking that I might be even using that in the very end. Cut it up into smaller pieces with the smudges and everything that's going to be on by then. I've decided to work in 3-hour blocks of making 11 paintings per hour. I am also intending, hopefully not forgetting, to use a lot of my left hand. I'm going to be timing myself 5 minutes per. I hope I won't forget. I'll give myself a little more or less, of course. I don't want to completely lose track of time. And you know how easily that happens when you're having fun, and I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm all set. I'm going to put on some music and get started. So I had put out just about all the art supplies that I own, especially a lot of drawing supplies that I haven't been using. And I love drawing supplies. If you have any questions about them, please drop me a note. I actually filmed a video where I show everything that I'm using, but that alone was 10 minutes long. And I decided not to make you sit through that. So in this first round, I was just experimenting which ones to combine. Probably overdoing it. So this is a little recap. It took me exactly an hour. I didn't enjoy it so very much, I must say. It was just too aimless a little bit for me. I mean, the thing is, I've done stuff like that in my past a lot, where I just play with paints and scribbles and let things run, and that's fine and well, but I have decided I'm gonna maybe go a little bit against what they say I should do, which is work on several at the same time, because I felt like I wanted to let some things dry before continuing, and they say, no, just do one after the other. Maybe I would have needed a little bit more of a color scheme, but then again, that's a lot of planning, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna try something different for the next 11, and I'm looking forward to it. That's the whole point, that I look forward to it, and that's why I have to change things up, because I wouldn't want to do the next 67 without enjoying it. I decided to use good paper for this. I actually have Hanemühle selection of their papers, so you can try them all out, and I thought that would be perfect for this exercise, just to experience what papers rock my boat and papers I don't like. I didn't want to use really cheap paper, because then just in case stuff turns out really great, I'd be really annoyed that I didn't use better paper. I think I had a little bit more fun with these. I went away from abstract. I had to for a while. It felt too void of purpose with only the abstracts. And then I went back to abstracts. These are ink only, which I like a lot. I still think what's holding me back is the thought of having to produce finished pieces, because I think that's really inhibiting me from creating freely. But then when I just create freely and I just scribble around, that feels void of purpose. So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I'm gonna do 11 more. I'm already thinking, oh my God, 3 days of this, wouldn't one day be enough? But I think that's probably the point. So that probably, you get looser and looser or more imaginative. I don't know. So off to the third batch. Sorry about the blurriness of this. The focus wasn't set right. So this exercise is a creativity exercise in case you feel stuck, in case you need a little bit new inspiration for maybe your materials, your process, or anything. If you're in any kind of a rut with your creativity, this is an awesome exercise, as you will see. Cat passing through. At this point, I wouldn't have minded him making some paw prints. I started using the paper with wet ink on it to kind of make a print on the next paper and started experimenting and being a little bit more loose, doing stuff like that. So the last batch of 11 for today. I had most fun in this section. I got even faster, but I also really reduced to almost only using inks. I didn't really use any drawing materials, which I thought I would be using. But yeah, I think in this batch I was most in my right brain from all the sections that I did. They're all fun. We'll see. So I did some thinking between the first and second day how I could make this more fun and satisfying for myself, and I decided to work in 3 mini-series on the second day. So of course there now was a color scheme because all 12 of each series had the same colors. I used the same colors on, and I had a lot more fun. This first series is still a little tense, and I was being a little more controlling, and then I got looser and looser and looser between the first and the third series. As you will see, I was also getting quicker and quicker, with the results getting better and better in my opinion, but you see and judge for yourself. I also did use the drawing supplies as I had hoped. So I think first I did some acrylics, let it dry, and then used the drawing supplies, a lot of soft pastels. And in the third series, as you can see, I didn't even lay them out evenly in the beginning, but like laid them on top of each other and made more random stuff. So this is the paper I used on my second day. The denim one, the gray one, and a black one, and I cut small pieces of 14 centimeter squares. So I actually overshot by 2 paintings. I was supposed to make 34 and I made 36. This is the first series on the gray. I was still a little bit tighter than I was later on. I was so much in right brain though, and I so much loved the result. I had just such a great time. So I really changed things up, changed the rules a bit by working on all of them at the same time. I also let them dry in between. I went on to the second and the third batch while it was drying so that I could then go in with other materials. Oh my God, I learned so much, not only about my materials, but about color, about balance. I would even say about composition. I learned so much, and spontaneity and how good things happen. So let's go over to the third batch. So the third batch is my absolute favorite, and those were so quick, less than half an hour, I think, for all 12 of them. So, and I really, really, really love them. Now, I have the hugest library for other paintings, and it made me get so loose and so free and so right brainy. So that was fun. It was so much fun that now I'm thinking, gosh, what am I gonna do on the third day? I don't even know. But now I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday I was just kind of, no, this isn't doing it for me. But now this is really going somewhere. Awesome. Again, I had a plan for my third day. Again, 3 batches. I only needed to do 31 paintings today. And I started with collaging a bigger piece that I then cut up into smaller pieces, actually 2 pieces like that I then cut into 12 smaller pieces. And I had to let things dry, let the glue dry, and I prepared the next batch for collaging. Look at these anatomy books that I used. Honestly, I'm of that generation. I wasn't even aware. Now we're all starting to be sensitized for that, how overly sexualized the women in these anatomy books are, and versus the men being all strong and tough, and I just got really annoyed while I was doing this. But anyway, the collaging and cutting out the figures, it just took a lot of time, more than I would have liked, because I again wanted to do about 1 hour per batch. So it held me up, and it made the second batch, especially the pure collaging, a little bit difficult. Also, I think I had cut the cardboard pieces too small for the shapes that I cut, or vice versa. I put the shapes too large for the small cardboard that I cut. So that didn't go as well. And I think the pieces are fun in the end, but maybe not quite finished. Like maybe I'll have to draw over them or something. So this is the third day, and oh my god, I am having so much fun, and I think it shows. It's like I'm set free and things go easily and fast and with so much joy. I had a bit of a sleepless night, maybe because I was so excited to do this, I'm not sure, and I used the time awake to just think about it a little bit, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. So I'm working in 3 batches again, and this is the first one. So that's the second batch. I made collage. I was gonna make them more complex, but due to time, I really didn't want to spend 10 hours today doing this. I actually wanted only 3 hours, but it ended up about 5. So this is all collage on cardboard. Glue is still wet. I think they're kind of fun. I wonder if I'm gonna add some drawing to it, maybe. But that was great. So, and then I used what I had underneath my drawing for the 3 days. I used that paper, cut it up, and unfortunately my iPhone had no more memory left. But I swear the time lapse would have been like 3 seconds long because it was so fast. First thing was with the Payne's Gray. I used a big brush and I just went all over it. And then I rearranged the papers. They were layered on top of each other slightly and spray painted with the red and the purple. And then I dripped, no, don't go on there, cat. Then I dripped ink, acrylic ink on it, red, fluorescent, pink, and gold. I can't wait for those to dry. Oh, not only because my cat wants to walk over it, though. Had so much fun. Now I'm exhausted and my studio needs a serious cleanup. Okay, I have to hold my cat back. Thanks for watching.